Good morning, everybody. I welcome you all for this workshop, and it is good we have started before time, so I think things which begin well end well. And it also speaks of the enthusiasm of the entire group and the commitment. I think we all have been together to improve our professional competence, and we all are committed to it because we have been functioning in various roles in the organization. I think everybody is associated around 15, 20, 30, 50 years, and that is the purpose we have gathered here, so that we can further travel towards achieving the excellence in the professional competence in the ICR way. I will just introduce what ICR way means, and we have a workshop here today. Workshop means, I think, what we call in Marathi Karya Shala. But this is the first time, because that day Kapse sir made a comment in our meeting. I am attending the workshop for MICR for the first time. I think I also appeared for MICR without attending the school. So we are pass outs of without proper schooling. So you people are fortunate, at least you have a school to learn. I think I realized the meaning of this chapter much after I became MICR. I think Stuart Close is the most difficult book of philosophy to understand, and we never understood it. But after passing through the ICR training, and especially after passing through the experience of MICR and personal practice, I could realize what Stuart Close meant in the chapter Logic of Homeopathy. Because logic has a lot to do with our ability to reason, ability to conceptualize, I think, which is the core of our MICR training. When he talks of prescribers and prescribing, all the successful prescribers in homeopathy do not seem to realize the educational value and importance of the student being able to identify and consciously use an unnamed science, which is fundamentally related to medicine, especially to homeopathy. I think this is what is the process we have to undergo. We all are good prescribers. We all don't have any doubt that homeopathy works, and we all have achieved fantastic cures in our practice. But how many times consciously we are able to recall on which concepts we have operated, which logic we have used, and whether we have a ability to convey or transfer that logic to our students. That means the educational value of it, so that the science moves ahead. And this has been the history of homeopathy, and I think the MICR process which sir has outlaid in the educational series booklet has shown us the method how to bring this at a conscious level. And this is what it is expected that we are going to experience in the next 3 days. I think, see what he writes. We should never stop learning. It explained all my good prescriptions and accounted for all my bad ones. How many times we account for our bad prescriptions? And what is the meaning of being accountable to our errors or bad prescriptions? Of course, the bad ones outnumber many times, because we only bring our successful cases in the symposium. It opened the possibilities of improving my methods and bringing the percentage of cures more in my favor. if we are able to explain our good ones and account for our bad ones, I think our travel towards our cure rate should improve. And it also occurred to examine the mental processes we undergo, the masters undergo or the prescriber undergoes. And it is surprising how a middle-aged review of one's youthful studies will dispel delusions which are long held. So these 3 days we will discover what we have been doing day in and day out. And when I mean what we have been doing day in and day out, means it is not what we will be doing in the workshop, but the mental processes we ought to do that in our day-to-day practice. I think what we are doing in the workshop should reflect in our day-to-day practice, and what we are doing in our day-to-day practice is going to reflect in the workshop. How we think, how we feel, how we reason out, how we act, how we look at our results. So our professional competence is revealed in our actions and doings. That is what we prescribe and what we do. Provided we can examine only if we have a record and we are agreeable for an impartial evaluation. This is the most important. If we have record, we may not submit it because we don't want an impartial evaluation. I think this is what we are going to explore in our CCFCC. All our actions in the various areas of from case taking to case processing to actions and result complex. We are going to examine each area in the light of our knowledges and experience, our philosophy of life and way of living. This is going to reflect in all the actions, and this is what we mean to explore for ourselves. And mind well, these roles are interchangeable in the workshop. Nobody is the faculty, nobody is the guide, nobody is the learner. The time and circumstance will decide, all roles are functional. So we are going to learn from each other. I think you all are very conversant with this model. I have just tried to put in the first aphorism 6, which is reflected in all our teachings, all our methods. And these are essential for how we care for the patient, how we care for the learner, and how we care for the knowledge. So we have to see how we are able to practice this first six aphorisms of organon. So what to care I have shown, how to care, following appropriate methods in the SCR. Mind well, we are not going to discuss SCR in this workshop. So if anybody has that expectation of trying to brush up their SCR tools you have to brush up on your own with the help of whatever you discover about yourselves. I think these are the various areas of SCR which we are conversant with. The most important thing is the last, we have to identify our deviations in all these areas vis-a-vis the case. And this is the most important message. Be a primary physician. This is not guide's case. Chirag, this is Dr. Chirag's case. This is Sayyad's case. This is Sachin's case. Surita, this is your case. So PP ने ऐसे किया, ये वर्ड किसी के आना नहीं चाहिए एनालिसिस में. ये मैंने किया है. This is my baby. How I have to handle this baby, I have to decide. If I have handled, I have handled this. Yes. If I have handled myself, I can handle this case. Accept responsibility. This is the meaning of care. I think this is not what I am saying. This is what our educational series booklet number 9 is saying. So discover the patient-physician evolutionary complex. because the therapeutic relation has a potential to heal both the physician and the patient. I think if the patient is healed, our patient has been healed. Whether the physician is healed or not, we will discover in the next 3 days. Whether we are healed or not, we will discover. So if we accept the action result complex, then I think the process of healing will start. If we don't accept the action result complex, then it is a disease, miasmatic state, chronic miasm. So be an observer. Responsibility of the observer is to record and evaluate the patient and the people. Be a supervisor. Supervisor has to record, evaluate, guide self and others. And be a consultant, he has to be an expert evaluator of documents, of the mental processes, and of thinking and actions of himself and others. And this is what we are going to do in the next 3 days with respect to our case discussion. These are the essential knowledges of the physician, and these are the knowledges on which we are going to take the decisions. Knowledge of disease, person, knowledge of medicines, our knowledge about laws and principles, our knowledges about posology, our knowledges about obstacles to recovery, and our knowledges about how to maintain health, preserver of health. So these are the essential knowledges which are there in aphorism 3. How I am able to address to my general concepts or my knowledges about this, because this we have been learning from our first year of BHMS admission till date. So knowledge everybody has, but whether I am able to identify the source of this knowledge, whether I am able to correlate it, apply it, abstract it, and then present it in both ways, the structural way, that is in the CCF, and in the explanatory way in the CC. This is the process we are going to undertake when we are. So CCF and CC are not separate forms. It is an extension, it is only a representation at 2 different levels. One is an organized level and other is an explanatory level. And knowing the reasons behind our action. Every action we take at the diagnostic level, at the remedial level, at the miasm level, at our approach level, at our posology level, therapeutic, non-therapeutic measures level, it should be supported by appropriate reasons. Reasons appropriate and adequate. This is the process we are going to undertake in the SPHP. I think this should enable us to sail through the difficulties of our practice more effectively and continue our medical education.